Hello.
Hi.
This is Soccer Podcast, uh, 9/19/2014. What up, Sahand
How's it going?
and Keen? How you guys doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah, muy bueno.
Well, we really should have done this podcast maybe before the EPL started.
Probably a month ago.
Maybe. But, really, we could just go over everything that's happened, the 4 match weeks, and we'll go over it right now. So, let's start with the EPL. Keen, what do you think about Arsenal through the first 4 weeks? And what do you think about Mesut Ozil? And what do you think about what pundits are saying about him?
Okay, well, basically Mesut's not playing well. What's causing that? I don't know. It could be World Cup fatigue. Could be a lot of things. I feel that a lot of people are making a big deal of the fact that he's playing out on the left, but the thing is that Arsenal's formation is so fluid that while he is taking a lot of touches down the left, he's pretty free to move around. I don't think that he's necessarily being converted. I think that Arsene is playing him there because he's trying to get him match fit. I think those are kind of my thoughts. As far as the team's performance is going, too many draws. I'd like to see some wins, and I'd like to see a few more clean sheets, but it's all good. Beginning of the season, early days, anything can happen.
What did you think about the City match?
Okay, so I was really disappointed when we conceded the first goal. I thought Arsenal were brilliant. Like the first 20 minutes, completely dominated the game, did everything that you would expect a team like Arsenal to be able to do. The frustrating thing was going behind when you knew that you should be winning the game. They were able to rally back, get themselves involved in the game. Started really well. Jack Wilshere's goal was beautiful. I still watch that when I'm at work and bored. And then, of course, Alexis Sanchez's goal was just genius. And then everything was great. We're going to get the 3 points. And then same thing that's been happening to Arsenal for ages. But I was telling you, Shaheen, zonal marking, everybody gets upset with zonal marking when it doesn't work, when nobody says anything when zonal marking does work, or when man-to-man marking fails. It's always just Arsenal and the zonal marking, blah, 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 blah. It's all just gibberish to me at this point. Just kind of tired. But anyway, could have been better, but I'll take the point.
San, what do you think? Did you see the game?
I saw the highlights. Just not saying much, so I just saw the goals. I'll say this: the goals were very nice. It was a very entertaining game, and I wish I had watched it live.
Yeah, it was almost like watching City and Liverpool. Those are honestly, I think that's my favorite matchup of the whole season. A lot of goals usually in that game. Not to mention that I get to see pretty much my favorite non-Arsenal team play, which is at this point is Liverpool and City. I guess I do really like City. I just hate the fact that they're all money.
I think there's something to be said about. Well, let me just point out the first City and Liverpool game wasn't that entertaining. If you were a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, no. Are you
they
talking?
Didn't play particularly well, but last year those games were fantastic.
And even the season before that, those were pretty good games.
Right.
Yeah.
This one left something to be desired. I think I want to see them with Balotelli in the next reverse fixture. But I woke up at 4:45 to watch that Arsenal City game. That was a fantastic game. I'm so glad I woke up for that. I think there's something to be said about how City really didn't play all that well and still got the draw. And it's just kind of scary that they still have the capacity to be able to pull that off when really they did not play well, in my opinion. But I would say this, in the second half, they definitely had a lot more things going for them. But I think when you look at Arsenal, their defense is an issue, don't you think, Keane?
I don't think the defense is an issue. I think the lack of it's the same thing we've been saying for ages at this point, but we need a defensive midfielder. We need a defensive midfielder. We really need a defensive midfielder, and we've needed one since the beginning of time. Alex Song wasn't a defensive midfielder because he was always coming forward and trying to chip the ball off to Rob and then Percy leaving acres of space behind him. Alex Song wasn't a very disciplined player. The last time we had a true DDM who liked to sit and cover as a DM should was ages ago. Gilberto Silva was probably.
Do you think Sami Khedira could have filled that void?
No.
No? Not defensive enough for you?
No, who's disciplined box to box player, but somebody who likes to get forward and get involved. He's good, yeah, he's really good. But you think he could be trained to be a DM? But I think that would take a season or two.
I think I mean the first goal. I noticed that the fullbacks were advanced up the field and left a bunch of space for Navas to get in. And Aguero.
Yeah, yes,
I mean, yeah,
common theme with Arsenal. I'll put it
right.
this way. When you have fullbacks who are going forward like that, you're leaving so much space down the sides for guys like Jesus Navas to just gallop into, right?
I think that's the reason
Barcelona
he was
solved this
picked.
problem. Yeah, Barcelona solved this problem because back in the day they had Abidal, and Abidal was essentially a third center back. And then once they got Jordi Alba, it was basically like having two Danny Alveses and just getting torn up down the flanks on the counter. I mean, when you have two fullbacks who like to get forward, they have to really watch each other's runs. Otherwise, you can get into like some serious trouble, leaving two center backs wide open, ready to get torn up. It's kind of
Yeah,
like that Liverpool goal at Tottenham
but
when
I see that a lot though. I see the fullbacks advance forward, and
together.
I have to exactly. I have to think that like maybe in bigger games, do they not want to adopt that same strategy? Do you think they should probably be a little more conservative and maybe leave the fullbacks not advance them so far up and
I mean, the
leave
problem
that
isn't the
acre of
advancing.
space?
Yeah, the problem isn't the advancing; it's the advancing in tandem. Because then you have center backs with seriously 15, 20 yards of space to either side of them, both of
Mhm.
them, which means that if one player gallops into that place, one center back is going to have to track back and cover or retreat, and it's just a really bad position to be in. Like if you have another fullback, that fullback can slide over and become a center back, and then that center back can shift out wide and cover. I mean, of course, per Mertesacker can't be, but whatever.
He's a bit slow, but
Yeah.
what have you guys watched any other City games? And what do you guys think? Who's impressed you this year, Sand? What games have you seen for the EPL?
Uh, I've seen a lot of Chelsea's games, like the one against Everton, which was super exciting. But I mean, Chelsea has obviously been the most impressive team so far. Like a lot of people criticized them last year for being like super defensive and boring, and they got 15 goals in 4 games this year. And almost half of those 7 come from Diego Costa. So like all the signings have been gold. Bringing in Diego Costa and Cesc Fabregas, and I think the best part about it all is like all the money like they got last year when they sold Juan Mata, and then at the end of last year they sold David Luiz. So I mean they didn't really like lose a whole lot of money to make these signings, and Chelsea like to me by far I think they're head and shoulders above everyone else. I think they
Yeah.
have the most balance. Their squad is just super balanced. They're their best lineup. There's no real weakness there.
See, here's the
In
thing.
my opinion.
I wouldn't go so far to say that they're balanced, right? Because they're leaving themselves really open.
Yeah,
Really.
I would say so. I think what Mourinho spoke about after I think it was a week ago, but he said that we're still trying to find a perfect balance of offense and defense, basically, where we want to be able to blow teams out by 4 or 5 goals, but still
Without
keep a
conceding.
clean sheet. Exactly. I mean, the
Like when I
six.
watched that Everton game, I was just like, "What the hell? Is this actually a Mourinho side? Like, or is this a joke?" You
Yeah,
know?
this I did not expect that, and I haven't. This is totally different from the Mourinho kind of Chelsea side uh, last season, and
Yeah.
I mean honestly, I'm not as a Chelsea fan, I'm really excited about how the season's going, but I am a bit concerned about our defensive stability. We are leaking too many goals. We're leaving ourselves open. I think in big games, I think we could see Ramirez and Matic pair together as holding midfielders with Fabregas pushing a little forward. Because Fabregas, you could put him next to Matic and have him play in a deeper role against, lesser teams, for lack of a better word, because you don't really have to worry about them hurting you as much. But against the bigger teams, I think I'm a little concerned that this City game's coming up. I'm a little concerned that we might leak goals, and I'm not so sure that we're as strong as everyone's saying we are. I think we started really well, but
It seems like they in those like games like they can just play Fabregas like in Oscar's spot and then put Ramirez or Obi Mikel next to Matic
Right, and I think that's what
if they
I
want
think
to
was. I
cover
think
that
that's what we're going
hole.
to see. I think that's what we're going to see maybe. I think everyone's playing. I think also Eden Hazard's, despite not really showing up in the stat sheet, he's played really, really well. He's getting into dangerous positions. He's not the focus of the opposing defense like he was last year. Because last year our offense was basically, okay, give it to Eden and see if he could make something happen. That's
Yeah,
literally
you
what it
guys
was.
really. It was
Yeah,
honestly there were times last year when I was like, okay, this is the Chelsea that I know Mourinho likes to play with or play as. Like the system was like, but it was just hard to watch sometimes.
It,
Because I
it
mean, you
was. We were trying to break down lesser
back,
teams. Yeah. We would try to.
you, but no, honestly, Eden was fantastic last season. He was really good. I disagree with you though. What you were saying about playing two holding mids. I think that the system is fine. I just think you guys need to figure out a way to get a little bit more solidarity out of it with the same players, and I think it's possible.
I don't think the system's bad. I think we're going to stay with it. I just think that against bigger teams, I think we might see a little more conservative side in terms of maybe playing Ramirez and where Fabregas would be against lesser teams.
Hypothetically, if they were to play like Bayern or Barcelona in the Champions League, I don't think like Mourinho plays like Fabregas. Like in a first leg, I think he goes super defensive, is what I mean.
Right.
That's what Shaheen means in this sense.
I think he's just holding that more as an option rather than a first choice in larger matchups because Chelsea can outplay any team on their day. Like, and I'm saying outplay them as in play expansive soccer against any team. They're first, like, you know. What I'm basically saying is this Chelsea side doesn't need not being able to show up against a large side offensively because the way they're playing, it's really, really awesome.
And
Really
I know it's
awesome.
early, but like, who's outside of Man City? Who's gonna realistically challenge for the EPL title?
Liverpool and
even-
Arsenal need to get their act together. Those are the only two teams I can see. Man
Yeah, 'cause,
United, I'm not even considering as contenders.
Yeah, as
this
early
year.
as it is, and as many signings as United has made, I think United's fight is for the top four.
Yeah.
That's what I think their fight is for.
I think that has to be the expectation with that squad. When you look at the amount of talent they have, I think that it would be a massive disappointment if they don't make the top four. I actually consider them title contenders.
See,
I know.
don't.
See, no. Here's the thing. I think they won't be, but I think that they are based on just the amount of talent that they have. I mean, if they don't get to that level, it's really I blame Van Gaal. You didn't make the appropriate signings. You're still soft in midfield. You still need some center backs. I mean, is Rojo the guy? I like Marcus Rojo. I do. I like Dali Blind. I like some of the signings they've made, and Di Maria looks awesome. But Falcao, honestly, that's a little weird to me. What do you guys think about Falcao being a loan and not a permanent buy?
Not impressed.
Not impressed.
He might be 31, because of his.
Nah, okay.
Outside of that, it's just like he's
Well,
kind of close to 31, isn't he? He's like 29.
Yeah,
I mean,
no. Well,
you can't spend that kind of money on somebody that old.
What is he getting?
Exactly.
£350,000 a week or
Yeah,
£300,000? It's like an insane amount.
And you could say United could afford it, but it's still like it boggles my mind.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys. Maybe it's just the Arsenal in my blood, but I honestly, if you're gonna pay that kind of money for somebody that age, you've got to be insane. You've got to be insane.
Yeah,
like it will never ever be worth it to me, ever.
yeah.
For a 29-year-old coming off a torn ACL, I'm a little skeptical.
Not to mention that he regressed. Like he had a poorer season at Monaco, in what you could definitely argue is a more goal-happy league than La Liga. And yeah, no, I'm not impressed. Not impressed.
I will say this though. To be fair, it is a loan buy, and I think they're paying about like £20 million for the loan, which is insane. But anyways, it's a loan with the option to buy. So if they like what they see this year, they could buy him permanently. But I think the understanding that from what I'm hearing, through social media and just from what I'm grabbing on the internet, I don't think they're going to buy him. I hope not. I don't think that would be a good idea, and I don't think we're going to see that. I think they're going to loan him out for this year, and I don't think they're going to buy him a 31, maybe 29-year-old striker next season. I just don't see it happening. San, what do you want to say about that?
I feel like they signed him because like there was some like speculation like with Van Persie, who's I think 30, 31 now. Did he need surgery? You know, he hasn't been playing well, but I don't see how Falcao, I don't know, fixes that. And even if they don't want to buy him like permanently, I mean, how much more like money like could you spend? You already spent like a bunch.
200 million in the last
January,
like, 200 million pounds. Woo!
I honestly think it's just ridiculous because you look at a guy like Robin Van Persie, and Robin Van Persie is Robin Van Persie. Robin Van Persie's skill set, the reason he's good has nothing to do with physical ability. It's technique and intelligence. So a guy like him, with injuries, with all those problems, he can still score you goals, whereas Falcao is a much more physical player, and he's going to decline. I'm not saying he's already declining. His last season could have been a blip. I just doubt it. And while his numbers were good at Monaco, like he's still, I guess, what you would consider an elite player, he's not the god that people thought he was a season or two ago.
Yeah, it's still the French league too. So.
Exactly. He's putting up like very good numbers in the French league when he should be putting up seriously messy numbers in the French league if he was as good as people say he is. Like right. Ibrahimovic is Ibrahimovic because he's putting up great numbers in the French league. You know what I mean? Like those are the kind of numbers that Falcao should be putting up, and not like I think it was like 0.45 goals per 90. Like that's good, but it's not 60 million or however much they're paying him for, or paying for him. Like it's silly.
I think they bought Falcao as maybe insurance for Van Persie because he gets injured pretty often. It seems like he's injured now, or he's going to be. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that, but I think it's good insurance for the year. But down the line, it would be a bad buy. I do like the Di Maria signing. He's an elite player. I think we could all agree on that.
Yeah, that's the best signing.
That's the best signing. I mean, he makes them a lot better. And I watched that QPR game. Granted, it is QPR, and they were not playing any defense. It was basically an offensive drill to them. They were just letting him pass in front of them, do whatever they wanted. But Di Maria showed his quality in that game. He's an amazing player. He's gonna do a world of difference for them. Dali Blind also came in, and I think he completed
just an absurd amount of passes.
Absurd amount of passes, and very accurately, and he was just spreading the play very well from a deep position. So I do like United's look now, but I think they're still soft in midfield. I think defense still needs more work to be done. This is a transitional year for Louis van Gaal. I think it would be a massive disappointment if he doesn't make the top four.
Yeah, I think it'd be more than a disappointment. He'd probably get fired.
Yeah.
All the signings they've done.
Very possible.
I don't know. I like the signings. Like I like Daley Blind, Ander Herrera, Rojo, like Luke Shaw. But are any of these guys like? I don't know. Are they like elite players? Are they going to win you the title or the Champions League?
I think each and every one of them is a very specific type of signing because they're all, I wouldn't call them role players, but given the system I think Van Gaal's going for, I think they're all really good signings. The only one that I really disagree with is going to be Falcao. Daley Blind, Rojo, I think those are pretty good signings.
Yeah, no, I like the signings, but it's just like, is that going to be their team going forward?
I'm those are young players.
Sold on that. Because I know they're going to be chasing Kevin Strootman in January.
Oh yeah,
I've heard of that, and
that would be a good sign.
Yeah.
I think I will say this about Falcao though. If you bring Falcao on to get you a goal, I think you could do a lot worse to bring on Falcao as a second striker. Do you guys agree? I mean, he's still
paying 350 a week?
No, but United. Let's be real. United print money. They make so much money. They're the biggest club in the world. They could afford all of this. Their wage bill is insane. I mean, it's ludicrous. And I want to throw this in there, Keane. I think you would appreciate this. For the first time in a decade, Arsenal's wage bill is ahead of Chelsea's. Now look who's ruining football, Arsene Wenger.
Wait, okay, our wage bill is higher, but like, I mean, here's the
I'm
thing. Here's
kidding.
what
I'm
matters.
kidding. I'm kidding.
No, we're gonna get into a budgetary discussion right now. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay, okay.
You brought it up, man.
I was like, no, 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 no. Bring it on. Bring it on. We're cheap now.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Look at our net
inexpensive
spend.
signing.
Woo!
Yeah.
We sold Lukaku for Diego Costa. Look how smart that was.
Here's if we're gonna have a quick chat about signings, I'm not gonna jump on the Callum Chambers train too early, but I will say that I've been pretty impressed with what I've seen.
No, me too. Me too. I like his versatility. He could play right back, and he might have to with Debuchy's injury
What the
now.
hell happened there, man?
Non-contact injuries are always the worst.
That was terrifying. I thought he fractured his ankle, but apparently it's just ligament damage.
Well,
I
how
might be
long is he
wrong.
out for?
3 months.
Oh, okay. Callum Chambers is going to fill in there.
Yeah, no, he's great, dude. Reads the game really well, although he's slow as sin. Um,
I did see him get burned by Dzeko.
yeah, that was like
In the community shield.
who gets burned by Edin Dzeko? Come on,
I
guys.
know, right? He turned the corner like he was Eden Hazard. I was like, what? All right.
Yeah,
but,
no, I was impressed. But no, Callum's great. He reads the game. He reminds me of just imagine a really young Per. Not so tall, but slow, more of a game reading type than a, Vermaelen get stuck in type.
Sahand, I know you wanted to toot your own horn. I do also want to point out that I did say Cesc Fabregas would be a title-winning type of signing. And what did you say?
I said he was gonna be the MVP, the best signing, and I told someone that I said I didn't say he was. I felt like he was being underrated because of the way like he was being used at Barcelona. I think people kind of forgot about him the last couple of years, how good he was, and because like in Barcelona he was kind of playing like back up to Xavi, and then a lot of false nine. I mean, he did
Playing out on
pretty
the
good in those,
wing.
but it's not. It's not his
Playing out
role.
on the wing.
But like now, like he's given that like so much space in the Premier League compared to La Liga, and he's just taking advantage of it, and it's good to see because I really like Cesc Fabregas, and I just think that like Diego Costa will score goals. That was something Mourinho needed, but like Fabregas to me like puts them on a different level.
Anybody who knows me knows that Cesc Fabregas is like just amazing to me. I'm a huge Cesc fanboy, and unlike most Arsenal fans on the internet right now, I have to say that I'm enjoying watching him play in the EPL. I understand that he couldn't come back to our team because of circumstances, and that's kind of just the way it is.
Well, could you explain it for our listeners? Why do you well, they have theories that it was because of Wenger spending the cash on Mesut Ozil the year before, but what's the real reason?
My opinion is it's Aaron Ramsey. Not that they're similar types of players, but they perform similar functions. Cesc, being more of an elite passer, and Aaron being more of a goal scorer with significant passing ability, I should add. Yeah, no, I mean it's one of those things. You can't buy all the players like Arsenal's were most stacked in midfield. Having Cesc Fabregas, Jack Wilshere, Mesut Ozil, and Alexis Sanchez with Theo Walcott and some others would be absurd. Like none of those guys would get playing time, and we'd be paying them all way too much. So yeah, no. With that said, I'm enjoying watching Cesc play because I love Cesc Fabregas, and even though some Arsenal fans are probably going to boo him when we play Chelsea, I will be smiling and enjoying watching him play back at the Emirates.
I think I see how like I heard two things. One was that like basically there was too much competition. Like there was no like real like need at that position. Other thing I heard was that he actually wanted to go to Chelsea. I've heard both.
Hey, if that's the case, then he can go jump off a cliff.
But like
the
to me,
tone
it's
has
like,
changed.
you don't pass up. I don't know. My opinion
I would have signed him.
sucks, but you don't pass up that kind of talent. That's not gonna happen. If next time he's a free agent or whatever, he's gonna be 30, 31, whatever, 32. You don't pass up that kind of when that comes around. You just gotta go for it, no matter who's on your team.
Yeah,
Go ahead, King.
Anybody who knows me knows I talk up Cesc Fabregas like no other. Not only because during his time at Arsenal he was a stud when he was 2021, but because I knew that even though going to Barcelona was the wrong reason, even though he wasn't playing that well at Barcelona, that the talent was still there. Yeah, no, I love Cesc. I love Cesc to death, and I will defend him to the death because Cesc is just freaking awesome.
Well, I appreciate you guys of passing on him because as a Chelsea fan, I absolutely love this guy. He's taken our midfield into another dimension. I mean, the only other guy that as long as I've been watching Chelsea that has been able to do the kind of things he's been doing is Juan Mata. But the difference between him and Mata is he could play deeper. He's more versatile, and I think he's a higher quality than Mata. Just
Oh yeah, dude,
plain
I'm
and
sorry.
plain
No
and simple.
comparison.
Sure.
No
Plain and,
comparison.
plain and simple. Like Mata is a great player.
Yeah, Juan
But,
Mata's elite, but Cesc Fabregas is like generational type player.
yeah, cream of the crop stuff. I'm amazed that we were able to get him for less than Anders Herrera. Let me just laugh at United right now.
Yeah, I know.
Let's
Honestly,
laugh at Barcelona, but that's a whole different issue on its own. Where
yeah.
Barcelona,
Don't even get me started on Barca
the
transfer.
great club that overpays for mediocre players.
Keen, you said a club can't buy everybody. Real Madrid would like to object to that.
Yeah, no. You can buy everybody. That doesn't necessarily make them a right player. After they got rid of Xavi Alonso, I started wondering what they were smoking over there. Xavi Alonso's an old dude, but they really needed a defensive midfielder, and they probably could have used some defensive players as well.
Can we jump leagues or jump not leagues, but
We could go to Real right now. Let's talk about Real. I don't watch a lot of La Liga, but Sahand, you are a Barca fan. You want to tell us about Barca's start, their summer transfer signings like Suarez, how is he looking, and Real's start, surprising start, and their summer transfers. You guys get into that.
I'll go with Real first. I think obviously the 3 games only so far, but they won their first one and then they're up 2-0 at Real Sociedad, and then they drop 4 goals in a row. They lose 4-2. Next week they play at the Bernabeu versus Atletico. They lose 2-1. So everyone's out for Ancelotti's head. I think just it's not his fault. He didn't want this. It's Florentino Perez who's doing all that stuff, and I think it's gonna take time for that team to gel. I think once it does, they're still gonna be dangerous, but. They lost, Xabi Alonso is a key player. It's a big loss. Di Maria was the reason they won the Champions League, in my opinion, last year.
Yeah.
Huge loss. Like
Gareth Bale didn't show up until very late in the game. Cristiano was a ghost.
Either way, that team is still super talented. I'm sure they'll put it together. I don't think they can win the league. I know it's early. I just think Barcelona is out to win it with maybe some stiff competition from Atletico. But I think Real Madrid is. They're going to be okay. It's going to take time for that team to mesh together because
regression.
It's like that kind of team you make like in a FIFA game, like Toni Kroos, Ronaldo, Bale, James.
Hey, okay, how about this? List all the players that they've got, okay? Just start listing all the crazy midfield talent. I'll give you my brief 3 or 4 word opinion on them.
All right, well let's go. Kroos,
not a defensive midfielder. Not a defensive midfielder.
Luka Modric.
Not a defensive midfielder.
Asier Iramendi.
Kind of a defensive midfielder, but not really a defensive midfielder.
Casemiro.
Okay.
He is
elite defensive midfielder.
But it's not about that. It's about the brand. It's about
project.
It's about looking. Ray Hudson put it best. He was all like, "You've got to put on like sunglasses, like to watch all these stars, like playing together." It's like
I love that guy.
It's crazy, man. It's like they're not even a team anymore. They're not a team anymore. It's just a bunch of superstars. But I still think.
Dude, once they signed Toni Kroos, they were like just next level, honestly.
Yeah, that guy.
The thing is, it all has to fit together, and it doesn't. It's just really good dudes standing next to other really, really good dudes.
Yeah, but look, they won the Champions League last year, and I don't think they ever really meshed, to be honest. Like when I watched that final, I don't think they like. It was basically like Ronaldo would make a run, and then Atletico would defend it. Di Maria made a run. Then Bale makes a run, and then eventually, they got that equalizing goal. Then Atletico was too tired in extra time. But like, what I mean is like they never really looked that good. But sometimes, that individual talent just kind of kicks in and gets the job done. So
I thought that last year I would argue that they were very good.
They were.
I think it was around March when I was like, they can actually win the Champions League. Some would say earlier, but they were really good. And then you get rid of Xavi Alonso, and then you get rid of Angel Di Maria. and then you get rid of like you can't throw away that much good talent and not pay for it. I'm sorry. Xavi Alonso's old. I understand that. He's not going to win any games on his own, but his distribution is next level. And distribution is one of those things that doesn't really disappear with age. It's just
Yeah. And at 32 years old, he can still play that role like with not
Yeah.
much of a drop in
I mean,
performance.
look at Pirlo. Look at Pirlo. That's what I would say.
Let me get in on Barcelona real quick.
Go ahead. Talk about Suarez.
Four games total so far for the first time ever in club history. No goals allowed. So
Yeah, I was
very impressed. Luis Enrique is kind of doing like the Guardiola thing, and he's playing a lot of young guys like Rafinha and this Munir. Sure you guys have heard of Munir
Mhm.
by now.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know Arsenal's chasing him in the January window, but like this guy, like De La Foe, like was supposed to be like the next big Barca star. They loaned him out again because he doesn't really track back. And all of a sudden, Munir comes up big these first few games, and then the next Sergio Busquets, they say Sergi Samper got his first start in the midfield in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, he's gonna be really, really good. I know that sounds really bland, but
Yeah, no, I've been watching like some of his like youth. Just
they
good.
locked him up till 2017. He's gonna be good. So they look really good. And my thing, to bring up the Suarez thing real quick. This team has been missing like a true number 9 since like the Ibra, like Samuel Eto'o days, around that time. And I think once he comes, it's gonna open up things so much more than people think for Messi and Neymar. I don't think people in my opinion, I don't think people realize how much of a difference Suarez is gonna make. To have that kind of guy who just a poacher,
Finishes.
just does everything. He finishes. Yeah. We have guys who can score goals, but they're not like goal. That's not their only job. You know what I mean? But Suarez just scores goals. I think it's gonna be so much for them. I think it makes them that much better for the Champions League. Overall, things are looking really good so far in Barcelona, but this is the same shit last year. They had like an amazing start, and then it all went to shit. But I like Luis Enrique a lot more than Tata Martino so far. So I think it's all good. It's all good in Barcelona.
I would. Okay, go ahead.
I think he's gonna come back by the Real game, right?
Yes, it'll be the Real game.
What? Wow! Isn't that nice?
It's very nice. They don't have their shit together. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be one of those like Guardiola like 6-2 wins. It's gonna be one of those big ones. I'm telling you right now, if Real doesn't get their stuff together, if they're hanging out with like Kroos and Modric in the holding mids, good luck.
Wait, you know what team I actually really like for their transfer window? Atletico Madrid, I thought did a great job.
Yes.
And I mean, aside, and we'll get into their surprise loss to Olympiacos, but Mandzukic is a great signing as a replacement to Costa. They've made a lot of great signings. But did anyone watch that Olympiacos game? Let's just go into Champions League now.
I saw a good chunk of it.
What happened?
The goalie it wasn't his fault, but he could have done better. It was the goalie's fault. So
okay.
Blame
the goalie.
I'll blame the goalie. I think it was.
Do they have a good chance to win La Liga this year?
Yeah, I think in depth. If Arda Turan is healthy, why not?
Barcelona. The key is Barcelona.
He's like their whole offense, but to me,
looks like Barcelona's going to run away with this.
Yeah, they might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they should switch their goalie. I think they were using Moya in La Liga, then Jan Oblak in the Champions League. I think they should just for now stick to. I mean, Oblak is
Jan Oblak.
He's young. He's only 21, but I think they should just stick to Moya because Oblak did not look good.
Oblak on a free transfer in Football Manager.
Real quick, I just have to say I love the Antoine Griezmann signing. I think that was a fantastic signing.
He's a great player.
I didn't see it coming for like Atletico Madrid, and they just kind of like pulled that shit. I think they've got guys who offensively it's like Antoine Griezmann, Mandzukic, Thuram. So I think they look good, but I don't think they can win La Liga again.
Did you see the City and Bayern Champions League match?
I did most of it.
I don't say this often, but I really feel bad for City. I thought they defended really well, and Joe Howard had a great game. And then Jerome Boateng with a deflected shot into goal in like the 90th minute. I feel for them honestly. And Yaya Toure did not play well.
No, he didn't. But like,
Isn't he
uh,
returning from injury?
Pellegrini like defended him, saying like, he shouldn't be blamed for everything and blah blah blah. He doesn't have a problem, but I mean, he is 31, and playing that box, like that midfield position could
Right.
have wear and tear on you. So
Yeah, I don't think like I would put it this way. If you're just returning from injury and you're playing in the Champions League, uh, it's a very high level of play to return to, especially against Bayern. Bayern are a team
yeah,
that can beat anybody.
in Bayern chasing those midfielders around, it's not easy.
Exactly. I mean, I always laugh when I watch videos of like Barcelona playing like 3 or 4 years ago. It was basically one team running a lot and not seeing the ball. And that's kind of the same system that you're seeing at Bayern now. So
David Alaba was playing the number 10 role.
yeah, I
That's
mean
how
He
insane.
does that for Austria though.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
that's just versatility.
yeah, it's amazing.
Can we
That
talk
guy's
about
gonna be a
Bayern real
stud.
quick? What do you guys think about Bayern? Because like, I still haven't really seen them like reach that like I don't know that kind of potential that people expected with like
No, neither have I.
Guardiola. They look kind of they don't look bad. They just like I don't know.
They didn't
They-
really impress me in that game, to be honest. I mean, they had a lot of shots on goal. They had
They
a
have
lot of
injuries too, but I
Right.
mean they should just go back to the 4-2-3-1. None of this 3-4-3 shit.
But I don't think they're playing.
I think that's really interesting.
I don't think they're playing as well as they did when they had Hinkies, Gus, the one that they won the Champions League with.
Yeah,
So-
that was a very different system.
Yeah, because I think that team is just kind of like here's the most popular system in the world today is kind of like it's the 4-2-3-1. It's kind of like here's Alaba and Lam as our fullbacks. Schweinsteiger, Martinez, defensive mids, Ribery, Mueller, Robin, and then Mandzukic up front, Neuer in goal, center backs for like Boateng and Dante in good form. It was kind of like show us what you're made of.
And they were really good. And this Guardiola team is like, it's almost like they're transitioning into trying to get into. I just don't see the potential, like as you're saying. Like I don't see them being as good as everyone thought they were going to be.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's really interesting that like to me the two premier tactical attacking coaches are both trying similar things. Like you see Manchester United doing like some weird like 5-back with wing backs, and then you've got all kinds of players like guys who drop deep like Daley Blind, the way he kind of drops into like a back three from the midfield. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Mhm.
And then you've got Bayern essentially doing the same thing. Whereas I think it's Xavi Alonso who's doing that. So it's really interesting. I think what they're doing is they're trying to find ways to keep their particular systems open, which is like a passing system without like the ugly weaknesses of being like counterattack down the sides. Because like you see all the possession teams, like think of possession teams, like so you have Bayern, Barca, and a couple other ones, and all of them have been smashed by counterattacking sides at least once in the last 3 or 4 years. And all the possession teams got smashed in the World Cup by counterattacking sides. So I think what they're trying to do is address those those weaknesses. And I kind of just went on a tactical rant. So back to you.
One thing I like about Pep Guardiola is that like I'm not gonna say he revolutionizes soccer, but he does try new things that who knows like like tiki taka, like he didn't invent a possession game, but he kind of invented what it was at Barcelona, and like
Yeah.
I think it's great that he's trying new things. I just don't know if it's working out. However, I will say like Ribery's not fit, Robin's kind of tinkering on injuries, Schweinsteiger and Thiago are like those would be like the two main like center midfielders, so they're still not like playing, so that they have injuries.
Yeah.
It might look better when they come, but in general, like they still have issues. They're not perfect.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely not.
Let's get into predictions. I want to get into. Okay, let's start with the fun one. Let's go Champions League predictions.
Hold on, real quick. One more thing.
Go ahead.
Did you guys see Dortmund versus Arsenal?
Yes, I saw
That
that.
game should have been like 10-0, man.
It
Yeah,
really
it should have been.
That
I'm
was
not even gonna lie.
like Dortmund, even with all the injuries they have. Like Jurgen Klopp's my favorite manager. Just like I don't know, like this, what is it called, like Gegen pressing or Gegen pressing? I think it's
Gegen pressing. It's like
Gegen pressing. It's crazy. They look like 10 times faster than Arsenal out there. It was
They
insane.
did.
A lot of fun. It's fun to watch. I like it a lot.
They did whatever they wanted to do. They were winning the ball and they were just speeding past Arsenal players like no other. How do you say his name?
Mkhitaryan.
just call him the Armenian Messi. Let's go.
The Armenian Messi was not Messi-like at all. He missed maybe like 5 chances at goal.
He could have eliminated Real Madrid twice last year in the Champions League, and he done goofed. So that guy needs to step his shit up.
I'll put it this way:
that team looked like they were on steroids, though. Yeah, go ahead.
that kind of like high tempo, what's it called? High tempo pressing with like really direct attacking. Like, I don't know if I said it in a podcast, but I think I called it like a couple weeks before. I said that was the type of team that was going to win the World Cup, and I was wrong because Germany won it, but Chile went really far. Colombia went really far. Who else? Like Spain didn't do well because that's the kind of thing that like destroys teams like Spain. Because it's like when you're pressing like that and you have like really energetic players like Shinji Kagawa and like all those other dudes working their butts off to win the ball back and then directly attacking you right after they've won it, it's so hard to play against.
Yeah, and then there's also like no Gundogan, no Royce, no Hummels, no Kuba, Blaskovsky.
They were missing their best players.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If those guys get, first of all, have you guys seen Ilkay Gundogan's like beer belly?
Yeah, he's fat.
Yeah,
He's fat. Like he's not like just like a little chubby now. He's like legit fat now.
Why? What's up? Is he injured or I don't know?
Well, he's training now, so I hope he's gone back into shape. There was like a picture like a couple months ago. Dude just got fat, but when he gets back into form, when Royce comes back, Blaskovsky, like Hummels, that team like they can win the Champions League. It wouldn't shock me if they can win Bundesliga. They have depth with like Kagawa and Aubameyang and Ciro Immobile and Ramos up front. They've got depth.
I couldn't believe they got Immobile.
Yeah, they got depth that they haven't had before. So I think they're a team to watch for as long as
Aubameyang is a great player.
Yeah.
So much pace. They have so much pace all over that team, and I mean, yeah, they're missing some of their best players. And I would have just thought if they had those guys, that what kind of whipping could they have put on this Arsenal side? Arsenal looked like they weren't ready. They weren't prepared. I don't know what was going on.
I don't know, man. Like this, it's part of like the experience of being an Arsenal fan, just seeing your team get flogged and totally outplayed every now and then. I don't even like want to talk about it because it pisses me off that I still have to watch crap like that. But yeah, no.
But then you have good performances where you play really well. Yeah. I mean,
it's up and down, but it's so topsy turvy compared to other top sides. It kind of annoys me, because I mean, the last time I saw Chelsea get outplayed like that, like truly outplayed, was probably against Atletico in the Champions League, and that's not even close to what happened to Arsenal this last week. So I don't know. It's so frustrating because like other fans don't really have to deal with this. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what the answer to it is or what the solution to the problem is, but it's just annoying that it's a problem.
A DM would help. A DM would help.
Yeah, a DM would help a lot. I was really upset when Schneiderlin didn't come. I thought Schneiderlin would have been a great buy.
Let's just say it's one bad game.
Yeah.
And Ozil needs to start running.
Ozil, oh come on, man! Don't get on the Ozil needs to run bus. Ozil doesn't run. I mean, not defensively.
Let's say something. Wait, hold on. Would Ozil be better off? I think he would be better off if Wenger sticks him in the 10 role. I don't think he provides enough industry if you put him on the wings, right?
Yeah. Agreed. But
he's better off in like like La Liga or like I don't know somewhere where he can just like chill, make those passes to Ronaldo
and spread the play.
Yeah.
With time on the ball. Yeah.
He just needs.
Here's the thing, though. In La Liga, you get less time on the ball than you do in the EPL.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
but like when you're Real Madrid.
I don't watch much La Liga, so.
No, I mean, like the generic thing to say here would be that La Liga is far more tactical, and because of that, you have less space because players are positioned well. In the EPL, players are much more committed, much more willing to run around.
He should be thriving, but
he is. I would argue that he is. Maybe not right now. He's definitely off form, but last year I feel he was one of the top 10 players in the EPL, no doubt.
Like the first half, maybe.
No, whole season.
Uh, well, I mean, he had 9 goals and 5 assists, right? That's
I'm not
pretty.
sure what the exact numbers
That's
are.
that's pretty good output for your first season at a club.
And
Um,
we're coming off a World Cup here, a World Cup he won, so that means he played more than anyone else.
mhm.
So, I
And he's
mean,
playing a lot for
he's
Arsenal. Playing a
playing a
lot.
lot.
Yeah. Wenger should rest him. Play Santi Cazorla.
But you see, I don't really, like, I'm not even going to sit here and act like I really understand what Arsene Wenger is doing. I can normally tell
Yeah,
you
I
what a
mean,
coach
you
is
got all
doing, but
that.
Arsene
You got
Wenger.
all that depth. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna sign
all that. No,
Fabregas.
all that. Oh.
I'm just saying
Thank you.
he's got all that depth. I'm not gonna sign Fabregas 'cause I have so many good players. So why don't you like
Thanks.
give
Thanks,
him
Wenger.
give
Thank
him a
you.
week off?
Yeah, no. I'd put it this way: the only thing that would make Arsenal a much better team is a defensive midfielder. Defensive midfielder and another center back to make me rest at night. I don't have to worry about Per Mertesacker trying a step over and breaking his freaking leg. For those of you who saw the Sunderland game where he did that,
Who do
that
you
was
think? Who do you
that
think?
was,
If you
that
give
was
me
terrible.
one defensive midfielder.
Paul
Um,
Pogba.
no, he's not a defensive
What
midfielder.
about Mascherano?
No. Uh, uh,
Pogba can't play as a DM.
no. Paul Pogba is Aaron Ramsey with less goals, with poor goal scoring ability.
No, ideally you want him in a box to box role, but I think he could be a DM.
That would be like
He,
asking Kadira to be a DM, but he'd be worse at it because he has
I
like
think
some
I think
crazy
Kadira would
attacking
be.
instinct.
I think Kadira would still be better than what you have there, though. So
Um, yeah. With that said, if I could choose one defensive midfielder, it would be
Realistically,
realistically okay.
yeah,
Shoot.
don't say
No
Javi
Sergio Busquets.
Martinez.
I mean, no, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say something like if I could choose three right now, Lars Bender,
That's a good
Morgan
one.
Schneiderlin, and who's another? Who's another? I don't know. I mean, it's not. I'm not going to sit here and say that finding a DM is easy, but like the skill set isn't that difficult. You just need somebody who's physical, who relies more on their reading of the game than their physicality, because those kind of guys get caught out of position all the time, and somebody who's a safe passer of the ball, who's not going to throw the ball away. Um, yeah, I mean it's so frustrating that we don't have like a proper defensive midfielder yet. It drives me nuts.
You guys want to make Champions League predictions, and then we'll go on to predictions for since I mean this is technically the first soccer pod of the new soccer year, even though it's 4 weeks late, whatever. We're gonna get into predictions. Let's start with La Liga. Actually, I'm gonna go with Barcelona.
Can I actually interject?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
If I could have a dream DM, it would probably be Sergio Busquets.
Yes.
Oh yeah, sure.
Man.
Continue.
I remember. Hold on, real quick. Everyone. Sorry. One last thing.
Okay.
There's one thing for like trying out the young guys. When we had Barcelona had Yaya Toure, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
Guardiola starts playing Busquets. Everyone's like, "What the hell is this guy doing?" Well, look now.
Exactly. Sergio Busquets came up from Barca B, and everybody was like, "Who the hell is this guy? Why is Yaya
Like,
Toure not
he's only
playing?"
playing because his dad used to play goalkeeper. Carly
No,
Busquets
no.
or whatever. But
He was actually the real deal.
anyway, prediction time.
La Liga. Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona, and I'm gonna say they win it easily.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, Barcelona fan.
And 10 plus points.
Let's go top 4 EPL. Keen, go ahead.
Top four? Jeez, man. Okay. Let's see. Top four. Chelsea. City. If City conditional, if Aguero stay fit. Or stays fit. And this is where it gets hard, because then you've got like Tottenham, and then you've got Liverpool, United, Arsenal.
So many teams. I mean,
Oh God. I'll say Liverpool and Arsenal.
Oh,
No. Arsenal
No.
and United. Arsenal and United.
in that order?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna say Chelsea 1, City 2, United 3, Arsenal 4.
That fourth spot was made for us.
Liverpool has a bad year.
I don't think they have a bad year. I just think they have a hard year adjusting to the Champions League. I think they're going to get hit by some injury. That's a silly thing
They
to
already
say.
have though. Daniel Sturridge.
Right. Statistics have shown that anytime you lose an elite player in any sport, really, you do suffer a regression. Now, the question is, how big of a regression is it going to be for Liverpool? I think it's going to kick them out of the top four. I think they'll finish fifth. I think United will be fourth. Arsenal will be third. City second. Although, honestly, I think you guys are underrating City right now. I think everyone's jumping on the Chelsea bandwagon.
I've been on the
It's
Chelsea
only
bandwagon.
it's
I've been on
only
the
4
bandwagon
games.
since they signed Fabregas.
It's only 4 games. I still think they have the best squad in the EPL.
I think
City?
you guys have a better one.
No, City.
I didn't. I wasn't saying that earlier, but I definitely think you guys have the best squad now.
I think we have a very balanced. Okay, well, I mean, it's really pick and straw. I mean, okay, yeah.
Who gets relegated? Who gets relegated?
I think City could be number 1 if Aguero stays fit the entire year, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think honestly,
so I'll go
right
Chelsea
now,
number 1.
Right now, when fit, Sergio Aguero is head and shoulders above the rest, the best player in the EPL.
As you said one time, Keane, Aguero, when he gets fit, like he's fit to be re-injured.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't matter because it's not going to last.
Some players
It's
are
so
just
sad.
not durable. Some
It's
players
so
are just
sad.
not durable.
Sucks because he's really that good.
I
Yeah.
think when he was playing, I think he actually, like on a per 90 basis, he had a better season than Luis Suarez last year.
Is he out this Sunday? He's out, right?
No, I think he's actually good. He scored a goal against Arsenal, unless he's somehow
He
injured.
scares me more. He scares me more than any other player in the Premier League.
Okay, two more things for EPL. Let's do the bottom 3, and then let's do Chelsea, Man City just for this weekend. So
Bottom 3.
Burnley,
QPR, Burnley,
QPR, yeah.
and Crystal Palace.
No, well, because of the manager turnover, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about the third one, the 17 or the 18.
Well, if Newcastle sack Alan Pardew,
Maybe.
shocked.
That shit can go down fast. Look at Fulham, dude. They're last place in the championship.
Yeah,
Are they
honestly.
really? Oh my
Dude, they're not,
gosh.
Shaheen, they're not losing. They're getting destroyed like 5-1 and like
What
4-0.
is going? Is it still that German dude?
No, he just resigned like last week.
Mercy rule. Wow. That's wow. Wow.
Yeah, no, man. Fulham were horrible.
They're not used. I heard like a lot of those guys just aren't used to playing like in that sort of league, and it should be like the same thing. But like they're paying these guys like a bunch of money to play in the championship, and
See, the thing is that the championship's very different.
yeah.
I mean, not that the quality is much better. The quality is basically like lower mid-table relegation quality, if not worse. But like that's pretty dire. Like if you get relegated, you should be favorites to go back up, unless you somehow get rid of all your talent.
Which of the promotion teams do you like the best? I really like, and I might pick them as my second team, Leicester City. I'm not even kidding.
I think they've had a good start, but
I
always
don't
say
know.
is
I gotta pick a shitty team to like, and I'm gonna pick them.
talk to me in December is what I say.
I enjoy watching Harry Redknapp's face get super blushed on the sideline, so I'm gonna go with QPR.
Wait, what was your 3, son, for relegation?
Oh, QPR, Palace, and Burnley.
Okay.
Who's winning this weekend or tying?
Oh
Or,
no, wait, hold on, guys. Player of the year.
Fabregas.
Player of the year. If Costa is scoring goals at this rate, I mean, obviously that's unsustainable, but I think he could end up as the top goal scorer this year, right? I mean, if he's good.
I mean,
Probably
the thing,
will, and he probably
With the
will be
services-
player of the year. But I'm
With
gonna
the
pick
services he's
Fabregas.
getting.
so unsustainable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. When you look at Didier Drogba's first 7 goals came in 18 games, that's actually really good output. This guy has 7 goals in 4 games. That's not going to keep going.
By the way, did you catch? I'm trying to remember. Like Lukaku's been on. Like he scored a really nice goal last week. But anyway,
He did.
what was I trying to say?
He was also really ineffective against us, which made me laugh.
Yeah. I mean, I still think he's very good, and I still think you guys were a little silly to sell. But
Well,
So-
I mean, if we want to be cool by FFP regulations, right?
yeah, he had to go.
Yeah.
If not Fabregas, like probably Di Maria, maybe. If he just kind of like skyrockets that team, why
I
not?
it's possible. I mean, no.
Yeah, Fabregas. The only other player would be Fabregas. It's probably not going to be Alexis Sanchez or anything like that. And I can't think of any other really big like Angel Di Maria. Nope, he's not going to win anything.
Sanchez has been a great signing for Arsenal. In the Arsenal games I've seen, his work rate is insane, and he's just great quality. I mean, he's a great signing. He's a lot
Yeah.
better. I'm sorry to keep bringing this up, but he's a lot better than Ozil right now.
Um,
Ozil's really not cutting it for me.
yeah, no, it's one of those
He needs
things.
to rest him.
I
Uh,
always
who's winning
say
this
this.
weekend?
Like Ozil is a guy who's playing well and you don't realize it. You
I need
look
to
at the
watch. I
stat
need
and
to
you
watch more Arsenal games just to see what Keane's talking about.
no, I mean honestly, Ozil will have a really good game.
I'll watch this
And then
weekend.
you'll be like, man, Ozil could have been so much better. Could have been so much better. And then you look at his numbers at the end of the game. He had like 6 key passes, and you're like, what? When did that happen? When did he find 6 people for shots? You know?
In the Dortmund game, he was literally invisible.
Yeah, I mean,
He had 30 touches and one created chance.
yeah, exactly. But that's because it was a high pressing team. When
Right.
Arsenal got demolished 5-0 by Liverpool, he had a very similar type of game.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like when the service he needs very okay. How about this? Man City first 20 minutes of the game he was okay, like he was meh. But in the second half, right, I think it was right before Jack Wilshere scored that his goal, Mesut Ozil was all over the place. Just watch like the first 15 minutes of the second half, and you'll see what I mean. It's a very strange way of being involved in the game. And again, it's his movement that makes it that way. But yeah, no, I'll defend Mesut. He's a very difficult player to understand, though.
I think I need to watch more Arsenal. I think Costa will be Player of the Year. Uh, Wait, what else do we need to go over? EPL
All the
wise.
other leagues.
Wait, hold on. Predictions for this Sunday's match and
Uh,
the score.
mm,
I said Chelsea 3-1 like 2 days ago, but I'm gonna switch that to 2-1 City.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna say that team's just gonna have a good day. I don't think it's gonna mean anything in the long run, but I think they'll have a good day.
I mean, City are difficult to beat at home, so I see. I haven't like. Okay, Shane, tell me, how do Chelsea play? How do they come up against larger opposition away from home? Have they actually played anyone away from home this game or this year? Like, what do they look like?
Not to the caliber of City.
But who? Like, what's the biggest team they've played?
Um, Really, I mean, we haven't played anyone that. I mean, Everton. Everton is, and we were really open against Everton.
Everton's just leaking goals this year.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know what
with
it
the way
was.
with the way Everton were playing, we just it became a very open game, and we just scored more goals than them. That's what it really
Those
came down to.
those guys could not buy a clean sheet right now.
I think we might see the inclusion of Felipe Luis. Although he did just play in the Champions League against Schalke,
That was
so
the first game.
right, it was his first game. I mean, honestly, Ivanovic has been playing so well. Although now he's starting to be a little more inconsistent, like I know him to be. He bombs forward too often, and sometimes it's a good thing, and sometimes it's not. But anyways, I think we might see Azpilicueta and Ivanovic. I think we're going to see Ramirez. I think. I think we're going to be conservative against City.
Yeah, I think
I don't.
Oscar's sitting this one out.
Yeah, I think he is too. I don't think we're going to get into an open match with them. I don't think that's going to work out for us, especially away against a team like City. It just doesn't. I think Mourinho is going to want to kind of grind out this game into maybe like a draw or like a 1-0 victory, ideally. But I think I predict a 1-1 game.
I mean, Mourinho is notorious for playing for the draw away from home, but I don't know. Like with this team, I definitely think they can beat City at home because Yaya Toure, he wasn't very sharp his last game. Okay,
But he could get back to form. It's one game.
it all depends on whether or not Sergio Aguero starts.
Yeah.
That's why I picked them. You guys said Aguero's healthy, so I'm just like going for it.
When Sergio Aguero is fit,
It's not that bold
he,
of a prediction.
he laughs at any team.
I don't
Honestly,
know, dude. Chelsea are just so godly right now.
Yeah, we're gonna lose now.
But they are
good.
smashing.
I'm gonna jinx the shit out of
They're
Chelsea.
smashing on
Yeah,
some.
that's what you're doing right now. I don't like it. Stop saying we're gonna win. That's what I'm saying. I really just want to draw. That's really what I want. They're too good at home. It's not gonna happen again.
I'd have been happy with a draw until Alexis Sanchez smacked that volley up into the top corner. Right? That's kind of the way it works. It's the
Right.
nature of the beast.
Exactly.
So we got that. What's your prediction, Keen?
Chelsea.
And
Chelsea win.
1-0, 2-1,
3-2.
3-2. Wow.
please be 3-2.
Oh, that would
Yeah,
be
that
a
would be dope.
sick game. That would be great. All right, hey guys, do you want to get into Champions League predictions or?
What
It's
about
early
what about the
days.
Bundesliga?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I'm not. I'm not
okay,
gonna
yeah,
act like I'm an expert here.
yeah. Bayern, but
Yeah, I mean that's easy.
Yeah,
Here's the
Bayern.
thing with the Champions League. I
Didn't
think
they
it's too
win
early to predict. But if I had to choose a team right now, I'd pick Bayern.
I picked Bayern before the season, and I'm gonna stick with that. Even though like I kind of like shit on them like in the middle of the podcast, not like on like completely shit on them. I just said I don't love what they're doing right now. I think Guardiola like, gets it together once
When you
once
create
they
a
get
new
healthier.
system, like
Once
the players
they're
have to buy
healthier.
it.
Once if Thiago is healthy,
Oh yeah.
man, Thiago is just when he's healthy, man, he's so good.
Tiago is like sipping on like a glass of cream with sugar that's been warmed. You're just like watching this guy and you're like, yes.
That was Keane's inner Ray Hudson.
Yes.
wait, a glass.
It needs some work. It needs some work, but
glass
you know.
of-
No, honestly,
start.
it's like it's just like sipping on excellence because
I'm gonna bring that back. Okay. Oh, thank you for that. That was great.
dude, honestly, Tiago is just genius. He is genius.
I want to
And
watch. I want to watch some Bayern now. I think the only two teams I would watch are obviously Dortmund and Bayern. And if I had a second team in the world, it would be Dortmund.
Yeah, Dortmund's my second team.
Yeah,
Um,
Dortmund are the hipster team.
How about this? Instead of making Champions League predictions, because I think we should probably finish until wait until the group stages are finished, and then we could make predictions on the knockouts. But let's talk about where I'm gonna pose this question.
Why
to
don't
you
we
guys.
just knock those groups out real quick?
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me pull it off.
Whatever. What were you gonna say?
Where's Marco Rusch going next year?
Royce?
Pro tip, Royce. But continue.
Royce. I hear.
Royce.
Yeah, Royce. Okay.
He will.
I said Royce earlier in the podcast. and
I think Kagawa is gonna be his replacement for next year, so I think Royce will go to.
You're not gonna like my answer.
I'm
I
gonna
like
say.
my answer.
I'm gonna say if he goes somewhere, if I had to pick right now, I'm gonna say he stays. But if he had to go somewhere, I'm gonna say Bayern.
Yep, that's my answer too.
Okay, most realistic answer, Bayern.
Oh my god.
Most enjoyable answer, Arsenal. Actually, you know what? No.
What?
If Arsenal nab Julian Draxler, I will lose my mind. I
Oh,
will
yeah.
lose my mind. And to be honest, if Bayern get Royce, I think that would be more likely.
After watching what Draxler did to Chelsea on Wednesday,
His dribbling is off the chain, huh?
oh my gosh, the stuff he was pulling off. I mean,
Yeah, Max Meyer,
and he's only Max Meyer had great
Sidney
game too,
Sam,
but-
Sidney Sam as well as a stud.
Yeah, but if Arsenal get him, I will also lose my mind, but not in the same way.
No.
All right, hey, let's get into it. Juventus, Olympiacos, Atletico Madrid, and Malmo FF.
Malmo FF
and,
is the club that. Hold on, real quick. Malmo FF is the club that Ibra started at.
which means
Aw.
that they're getting through the group.
That means nothing. I say Atletico bounces back and finishes first,
Oh wow.
and Juventus second. Olympiacos goes to Europa.
Okay.
I've got my money on Juventus. That's a safe bet.
What in the runner up or?
Juventus and Atletico. I mean, Malmo, as good as they are.
I'm gonna go with what Sahan said. I think Atletico is still good enough to win the group despite the setback. Okay, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Ludogorets, and Basel.
Real first, Liverpool second, Basel third, Ludogorets fourth.
Yeah.
Same.
Hard to disagree with that.
Pretty cut and dry. Some of these.
Group C is my favorite group because I think it's gonna like the top teams that have like 7 points. I don't think anyone's running away with that group.
Zenit, Monaco, Bayer Leverkusen, and Benfica. Yeah, you're right. That could go anyway.
Leverkusen, Monaco, and then the others.
In Monaco, we're supposed to be shit, but they won their first game, so
I've got Leverkusen winning that group.
I did until how bad they looked good in the Bundesliga so far. They looked bad versus Monaco. I'm gonna take Zenit first, Leverkusen second, and then Benfica third. Monaco. I still think Monaco finishes last.
Honestly, I think Monaco are what Manchester City used to be. Just a team of mercenaries.
Monaco is like the new Malaga. They bought all these good players. They got pretty good, and then they sold them all.
Yeah.
Okay, Dortmund, Anderlecht, Galatasaray, and Arsenal. I'm gonna go with Dortmund, Arsenal.
Yeah, I think Galatasaray lost their chance by tying at home versus Anderlecht. I know it's early, but you can't do that.
Yeah,
At
not
home.
in this group.
Especially
Certain things.
Galatasaray, they're at home. They're like legit at home. So
Yeah, no,
They
they
have
have
crazy fans.
crazy fans that kill people and.
Yeah, I mean, when your fans are in the art of like actually stabbing people, like we can call you literally crazy,
Yeah,
and
it's
not in a good way. Not
pretty intimidating. Pretty intimidating place to go to.
Yeah, no, screw that, dude. If somebody's ever like, hey, look, Arsenal away, where are we going? Turkey? Nah, I'll stay.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, bro. Yeah. I'll wait until the reverse fixture, and we'll
Yeah,
go to
exactly.
London. Roma, Bayern Munich, Man City, and CSK and Moscow. I'm gonna go with Bayern and City. City will make it out.
I'm gonna go with Bayern and Roma.
Ooh. Roma look awesome. Gervinho.
Hey, dude, look, I will always maintain that Gervinho was that good at Arsenal. With that said, he never actually played that well. I think
He looked like a stud.
dude, Gervinho he's one of those players like insane dribbling ability. Like just ridiculous dribbling ability.
But then
Composure,
he
not so
the,
much.
He showed the finishing. He showed the composure against CSKA Moscow.
I think what happened is, so the guy I believe the guy I don't remember his name, but Roma's coach was the guy who coached him when he was at Lille. Definitely getting the same production out of him that he got it in Lille. But yeah, no, Gervinho's a stud. He had a really good World Cup, I should say.
What's your
What's your
prediction?
prediction?
Oh, sorry, I'm just talking about Gervinho. Bayern City. I want to see City go far in the Champions League.
Yeah, I feel bad.
sense.
I kind of feel bad for City, but I'm gonna say that they don't make it out. Pellegrini gets fired they'll let him finish out the year, and then I think Diego Simeone is the new manager.
No
Oh
way.
wow! Oh wow!
I'm going big.
I'm going big.
Go big or go home. Oh, I would hate that, honestly. I think Simeone's a great coach. All right, well, cool, Sahan. That's
You're welcome.
puts everyone on red alert.
Essentially.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go Munich and City. But Roma, that's a good bold prediction, Sahan. I like that.
Roma is what Atletico was last year and what Dortmund was the year before.
Ooh, okay. Is that another? Okay. Wow, Sahan is throwing bombs over here. Okay. Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, Ajax, and I don't even know that last team. I'm going to be honest with you.
Nicosta.
Okay.
Aren't they from Cyprus?
Don't act like you watch them, Sahan.
No, they're from
I
Cyprus.
did watch their one game versus Barcelona, and I think they were like, a couple of years ago. They made it to like the round of 16 versus like Real Madrid.
Yeah, that was funny. That was really funny. Actually, it might not have been them. Was it Basel? No.
It was no, it was some Cyprus team, and I'm just guessing it was
No,
Apoel.
it would be Apple because they're like the Cypriot beasts.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Barca first, and then good job Ajax, but doesn't matter. PSG will still bounce back.
I always say it. Ajax are good. I mean, yes, they play in the Dutch league. Yes, the Dutch league is goal happy, but Ajax are good. I love watching Ajax and Barcelona play. It's one of my favorite fixtures. They've
I
only
think
played
Daily
twice.
Blind is a big loss, so.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Ajax, like, they're in the business of losing their best players. That's what they do. That's their business model. So
I think we
It
can all
is.
agree on what I said.
We agree on the top two, though, right? Okay.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Schalke.
I like PSG Barca. That's a fun matchup.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Always fun to see Ibra go against Barca.
Okay, I think we all got Chelsea winning this group, and then coming in second, I'm gonna go Schalke. Schalke really.
So how much does Roman Abramovich pay to get groups this easy, Shaheen? You would know.
Yeah.
You know what? He doesn't pay anything. He just sends like a bunch of concubines over to the people who do the draws, and but they're high class.
No diseases. Disease free.
No diseases of the best quality.
That's no, but seriously, like what like it's at some point it's kind of ridiculous.
Hey,
Right
we're gonna get a bad group. Yeah, I don't know. I love this group. Whatever.
Yeah, of course you love this group. Honestly, if Arsenal ever had a group this easy,
Then you make it out.
Chelsea Schalke next.
yeah, seriously.
Oh, I mean that's as easy as some of the other groups were. Come on.
No, it's
No. In terms of making a prediction,
Okay, yeah, okay, that's fair.
right? Okay, because
Yeah, we're in agreement.
All right. FC Porto, Atletico Bilbao, Shakhtar Donetsk.
This is a
and,
good group. This is a really good group,
I'm
by
gonna
the
say
way.
Bilbao first, Porto second.
Shakhtar.
Over who?
Bilbao.
I don't know, man. Them Spanish teams. Everyone always has La Liga's weak, but every year in the Champions League, Europa League, it's always the Spanish teams going deep.
Yeah, I mean,
Porto first and Shakhtar.
I don't know enough about Porto. I'm not gonna act like I do.
They scored 6 goals against.
Brahimi got a hat trick.
Brahimi got a hat trick, and
Yeah.
Jackson Martinez looks great. They have a good team.
Yeah, I mean, it's so nice. Like all these guys who had good World Cups, getting to see the back of their club sides. Now that you know like a lot more about them and you've actually seen them play. I mean, I knew Jackson Martinez, but like, I mean, seriously, do you really think I'm gonna sit down and watch Porto week in, week out? Yeah.
We could forgive you for that.
Good.
Okay. Well, I think that about wraps it up. I think we did more than an hour of content here.
Yeah, a lot of juicy content today.
A lot of juicy content. Okay, we're gonna do this again next week. We'll break down the matches we've seen, and we'll make it 30 minutes. But I think we had a lot to go over, justifiably so, because we had to go over 4 weeks of
So
4
next
weeks of
week.
stuff.
Next week.
Yeah.
All right. So see you in 3 months.
Ha ha ha. Okay, I'll see you.
Catch you guys.
You know
in
what's
December.
probably gonna happen too.
No.
It's gonna be like, hi,
No.
this is Shaheen. Welcome to like our soccer podcast. We got the Champions League final tomorrow. We got the Champions League final tomorrow. It's Bayern versus Barcelona. Guardiola versus old team. Messi's out with an injury, and can Suarez carry the load? Watch, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Damn, man, you're a psychic.
7-8 months.
We're actually not going to continue. We're done. Thanks guys for listening. We'll be back next week. I'll see you guys later.
See you.